How good are you in setting boundaries? Aloha, my beautiful ones, and welcome to Energy Wave number 19. I'm very excited because we're going to be talking about boundaries today. Very important. Aloha. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is May. I'm your neurospicy cyber witch, here to help you unravel anything that has to do with either your highly sensitivity or your ADHD or neurospiciness. And especially, giving it a little magical touch with witchy stuff. But today we're going into something that has to do more with our mindset because boundaries are important. If you've been watching all the other waves that we did so far, it's a lot about, our thoughts and patterns and what we believe in. And sometimes we don't set boundaries because we think it's not the right place. It's not, we can't set the boundaries. We're going to be seen as, too annoying. I think that's the best word. If I'm thinking of way back when I didn't want to set my boundaries or I didn't want to, express what I needed in the moment, it was a lot of the times it was because I felt like people are going to see me as, too annoying, too much, like expecting too much. And I think, yeah, we can say, yeah, that's fine. I mean, come on, we might be too much, and we have those thoughts, and we need to work on those. But we did that with the other energy waves before. Today, I want to encourage you and invite you to become someone that stands up for you. That's why boundaries are so important for us on two levels, because firstly, no one is going to set a boundary for us because, if we're going to run, if someone's going to run all over our boundaries, all over ourselves, and if we don't stop them, they're going to keep on doing it. And I know it's horrible because we wish for someone to come with a magic wand, and I know we do witchy stuff here as well. And someone would love to say, come on, let's go like this, and then your boundaries are all set. Boundaries are like intentions. We need to set them ourselves. No one else can set them for us. And I know it sounds scary, and I know it sounds like, like I'm going to be left all alone, and I know it does. But also the other side of setting boundaries for yourself is that you become more self-confident. And that's one of the main things that I want to do for you and with you. I want you to be confident with who you are. I don't want you to try to be someone else. I want you to be who you are. And if you need more space to recover from social stuff, or if you need more space to just feel yourself again, I want you to be able to set the boundary. I want you to be able to feel it, to know it, and to actually be able to say, it stops here. Here's my boundary, and you can't go further from this, okay? Of course, I hope for you to do it from an aligned space, being aligned, feeling okay. And this is why all the other waves were important to do first, because, why am I not setting a boundary? Remember, why am I not setting a boundary? I believe I can't set that boundary. Why do I believe I can't set that boundary? What is behind all of it? And once you've worked on all of that, it's going to be easier to set a boundary and say, here. Of course, there's a second aspect of the whole thing, because we're always going to be meeting up with people or, that don't understand our woo-woo stuff, that don't understand our energy stuff, but there's always ways to set the boundary in a way that it doesn't create extra drama or extra friction for you. I know sometimes it's needed. I know sometimes we need to set hard boundaries, but there's also a way to sometimes phrase it a little bit different, just to allow yourself to not have too much friction, at least in the beginning. At least in the beginning when people still don't understand. And I'm talking about things like your family, right? Because when you're out and about in the world, the more you become you, the more you become centered within your own energy, you're always going to find more and more friends and and people around you that vibe with you, where you can say, you know what, right now my energy's drained. I think I need time for myself. And it's okay to set that boundary. I mean, it's a whole other topic again with, watch the waves that we did before. If you can't set the boundary, but it's important to learn and to see for yourself. You're the one that's going to be setting them. The power is within you. I trust you to be able to set them. And I trust you to be connected with yourself, with everything that we talked in the other ways before, so that you can set the boundaries for yourself. I'm going to still show you a little trick that I did, especially when I'm confronted with people who don't understand my woo-woo language and who don't understand energies and stuff like that. It's easy. The easy thing is, because everybody reacts to, I can't right now, or I can't do this because I have a call, I have a meeting, I have, my favorite phrase in the beginning when I didn't have too much strength and I was like, oh my God, how do I get out of this? Oh man, I forgot a meeting. I have a meeting. And it wasn't a lie. If you're thinking, May, are you teaching us to lie? No, I'm not lying, because the meeting, maybe it wasn't with a client, or maybe it wasn't with someone else. Maybe the meeting was just with me because I needed to retreat, because I needed space for myself, because I'm overwhelmed and I just need a second or two or an hour, right? So I have a meeting. I need to do this right now. I have a work thing. And usually, I wasn't lying when I was saying that, because a work thing for me is, doing my stuff for you here. And I love doing stuff like this. So that could be something that can help you in the beginning, and later on, you're going to be creating more and more people around you. All right. But again, the main thing that I want you to take away from today's episode is to make sure that you know for yourself that you're the one that can set the boundaries, and that you're the one that's going to do it. I'm not saying that you're going to have the strength right away. Please, refer to little, creative interpretations of the boundary itself. But the more you do that, the more you turn to yourself, the more aligned you're going to be with yourself, the more strength you're going to have for anything else. All right, because you're the one. And I know it's scary to be that person, and I know it's sort of like everybody's talking about yes, a no to someone else is a clear yes for you. And I want you to learn the yeses for you, because you're amazing. And there's a reason why you're here with these beautiful gifts. And I know that that it sounds like so hard sometimes. And I know I'm with you. Been there, done that. I mean, I've been on this journey learning how to deal with my highly sensitivity when I first officially knew about it in 2010, something like that. So it's been a journey, and I'm not saying that it happens like this, but every step is one step closer. And, don't try to pressure yourself to set all the boundaries right now. No, allow yourself to do one next week. Just that. Allow yourself to set one boundary next week and see how that goes. Do it with someone where it doesn't matter, because you're probably not going to see them ever again. And see what happens, and see how you feel. Again, the boundary setting thing is like a muscle that needs training. And the more you do it, the better it gets. And you learn, again, I keep referring to all the other ways, but it is because the more you become an observer of yourself, you understand when you should have done a boundary, and then you learn, and it's like, okay, next time. And then the situation comes up and you're like, oh, okay, this is overwhelming me right now. I could go in overdrive and just, function for another 2 hours, or I could just say, here, this is my boundary, and I'm heading out there. All right. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you take away the boundary thing, that you can set the boundaries yourself. And with that said, my beautiful and amazing soul, as always, be graceful with yourself, because you are an amazing being who is allowed to be human.